Hello, Pussy.net. Another little video. This one is it's a little concept that I would like to actually put it in green here. Little concept that I would like to introduce and anyway get your opinion at the same time. Most of you knows, I'm with the Equip to Indoor Forum, and we're discussing about one brought that seeing a trend of a lot of people buying a lot of gear but not practicing their skills, and people kind of went back and forth on the trend on the forum, and I'll put the link of the discussion down, and it kind of brought me to a concept that would be maybe interesting to kind of study to establish this. So sometime I know in medicine and I know in economy as well and stuff, but we do have just looking at this, when we have example of a Tylenol toxicity, we have a graph that looks like this, and depending of the level that you have versus the time that you have, you're either in a dangerous zone or a safe zone. So what I was thinking, and we'll make this, there we go. I cannot really see it here. There we go. Okay. So imagine this is green, but my green seems like it's not working very well. There we go. So green. There we go. So what I was thinking is making a graph like this, and it would be interesting to study where is this line, because that would be the purpose of this, would be to study where is that line going. And I know it sounds a little bit like a intellectual component, but actually a lot of what I found interesting and a little bit disappointing with bushcraft or survival or prepper or whatever name, and that's one of the sad part of it, is that everything is kind of mixed and it seems like there's no categories, and even if people and everybody's saying stuff, is that it's been such a long art, and it's a little bit like medicine when it started, is that it is an art. So that means like you have some knowledge, but it is still something that you learn as you do it. You gauge, you're not quite sure why you do it that way, but it seems to work and everything, and there's a little bit of intuition to it, and it's an art. Not so much as a science as 1 + 1 = 2, sometimes 1 + 1 will equal 3 because there's another factor that went in, or 1 + 1 will equal -5 because there's another factor that went and totally changed your component of it. So it's not so much as a science as if you do this versus this, that will be your result. So that's why it's more in the art, and just like medicine, there's still things that when we apply them, we don't even know why they work, and but they work. So then we continue doing it, trying to understand it. And I think it would be interesting to bring this kind of more scientific approach to the survival community, so that we can, the new people that get to learn, not just like here, go in your backyard and try stuff, but kind of give them a framework to work with, a framework to think about, something to component. Just like I was submitting another idea of like when we do friction, bowl friction. Well, people are like, well, just do it and you'll learn. Well, wouldn't it be easier if we would have like something that could give us feedback? It's like, oh yeah, okay, my spindle was like this instead of being straight, so that means I need to work on my hand. And then slowly you work your motor skills and stuff, instead of spending hours and hours of having a bad habits. So then suddenly you could have like a practice things that could practice and give us feedback at the same time. Well, it was a little bit the same concept of this thing. So for those that are not familiar with graph, this is what they call the y-axis, and this is what they call the s-axis. And on this one, I put skills, and on this one, I put equipment. And you'll see why I did that. And it just an idea. Again, it's a concept, and think what you think and give your opinion. And if you don't like it, well, sorry. But I thought it's I like to think about that way because it helps me put an image on things that I want to learn. And on this line there in the middle would separate two zones, as this would mean that you have improved your safety, or your survival, should I say. And this on this side, there's very unlikely chance that you're gonna survive. And if you think about it, let's say, so higher up that you go means that more equipment you have, higher you are on your graph. And higher up you go on the skills, that means that more skills you have, higher. So on this side, so more when you go from this side, you have more skills. So let's say you have someone with moderate skills, moderate equipment. It could be like in the danger zone as the survivability windy stuff. Versus, same concept, but if somebody has a lot of equipment, the best equipment you can find, like has a truckload of equipment, even if he has very low skills, so like even if he's on there, he's still in the safety zone. And you have actually not even a lighter, you have like the waterproof, windproof, and you have actually 3 of them with an inferno, a mini inferno. No matter how crappy your wood is, you're pretty much going to be able to start a fire. So this is why more equipment you have, if you have like that much equipment, that's why even with no skills, some people can survive. And if you think about, if you ever started to go hiking, people will bring this big backpack. And more as they go and they get experience, they can go lighter and bring less because their skills improve. So as your skills improve, you need less equipment. So that means like if you're at that level of skills, you pretty much need almost no equipment to bring to still be in the safe zone. So that's why I like that concept, because the concept works. So that means you need a lot of equipment to be in the safety zone, and skills not as much to be in a zone that could be safety to affect your survival. Versus high, like I was saying, you need like 4 or 5 lighter with mini infernos and all that stuff, and maybe even gasoline and whatever, to be able to be in the same zone that somebody with, let's say, it's a little bit more than halfway, but let's say moderate skills, could be able to be in the same zone with almost no gear because they would know what to do. And the reason that it makes it interesting, because obviously this is just a graph that I put in there, there's no data and everything, but if we would study it, then we could establish, where is that line? Where is that number of gear that you really need to, like, just gear, no skills, or again, half. So let's say you do a point here, so half the skills, half the gear, and you're in the safety zone. So how much money or how much gear do you need to buy to be in this zone, and how much skills that you're related to? If you have only that much of money that you can buy equipment, that means that to be in the safety zone you would need that much skills. And this is why I'm saying that this could be interesting, because now people, if they know their budget, so if I have $500 to buy my gear, that means it tells you how much more you have to work on your skills versus your equipment. Versus someone that, for whatever reason, is able to, let's say you have 10 million to spend, that means you can put pretty much a bunker everywhere and fill it up with stuff and almost not rely on any skills, because they have so much duplicates and everything, and they can carry things. And again, that doesn't mean it's the best place, because as your problem with having this equipment means that that is functional equipment. So if, for example, if to be in that safe zone here means that in that much skills, that means that my lighter, so let's say this is meaning for my fire, again, lighter and mini inferno, 1 lighter. my lighter fell. I don't have that piece of equipment anymore. So that means for the same thing, because the piece of equipment have failed, here, we'll do another one here. Let's say I do my line again, and this is the safety zone. So if I had a piece of gear that was here, and let's say for the same, let's say here, okay? So this is the skills that I need, okay? So look at the difference of this. So that means that for the same piece of equipment that I have, I'm in the safety zone. I lose that piece of equipment and this piece of equipment do not function. I go here because I do not have it anymore. Now with the same number of skills, I'm in danger zone. So that's why it would be interesting to study that line, because if we can establish this, that means we could establish how much money that people should buy, how much stuff. And when we do forum or discussions and everything, we could rely on this or discuss that way instead of saying, well, no, my knife is better than your knife and your skills is better than my skills and stuff. And it doesn't really matter because, well, not that it doesn't really matter, but it means like if somebody is totally self-reliant, so that means that they need no equipment. Sure, they can be over here and it's great. But that doesn't mean that somebody that for whatever reason they have kids, they don't have that much time and everything, they cannot practice the self-reliance, or they're not even interested in that more bushcrafting as making your own spoon and things like that. That means they'll have to go higher on their equipment, but still be in the what we could call the survival zone. It's just their skills will be over here, because just as I was showing. So if we redo the line over here, and this is the person with no skills, or actually with super skills over here, and that's why it has to be over there. But if somebody has the skills over here but has a little bit more equipment than the other person, or even like kind of over here, and they have that much skills and that much equipment, well, that means it leaves less skills than those two people, but still can be in the safe zone. So anyway, a little concept then. Leave your opinion, and hopefully you enjoyed that video.